Hi, everybody. I'm just not going to stop smiling. I just had the most amazing time this past hour plus on a Zoom meeting with my former Yavna Hebrew Academy class. And so exciting to see everyone. I almost want to speak about the whole experience, this whole class. But it really is amazing because we were just reminiscing all the amazing times we had in class together. And I'm praying that this class hopefully will help upgrade your class experience so that 40 years later, when you have a reunion, you'll only remember all the good times and all the friendships and all the incredible connections that you have a chance to make while in school. And I know right now everyone's in Zoom classroom for the most part. I think Israel just got back into the school. But until we all do, just know that the connections that you make are a lifetime. And the more you put effort into that connection, the more you'll have, please God, what to celebrate 40 years later. Unbelievable. I am speechless right now. I think I'm live here still. So today's Brain Train class is about fixing yourself and how that fixes others. You know, sometimes things happen to us in class or at home, and we can get very bothered by someone's behavior. And all the while, like deep in our heart, we know we're in a way, have our things that we need to fix as well. But it still like really hurts our feelings, or it really makes us feel so sad, like, why are they behaving that way to me? And but I'm going to teach you a secret ingredient today that will help you understand that we have the power. Like when we fix ourselves, it's like helping the whole world fix themselves. The Hasidic teaching is that we're all one body of a soul. That every part of everyone's soul is like a unity of one. So just like our body has our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our lips, and our legs, and our hands. And yes, a hand is a hand, and the eye is the eye. But we're all part of the me, the I. So all of the people are one like entity. We all are one and the same like organism, as it were, just one entity of souls. And that everything that we do to improve ourselves really gives everyone else in the whole wide world the power to improve themselves. How many stories by the Lubavitcher Rebbe that said that because of Akedat Yitzchak, if you remember the story where Abraham and Yitzchak were willing to like just give their life over to Hashem, gave the power of other Jews down the road in the history of Jewish people to be able to accomplish that kind of task, that kind of strength of character. So even generations later, it impacts souls forever, an act that you do today. So how much more so the act you do today to forgive, the act you do today to elevate yourself helps elevate everyone around you. I mean, when you think about it, it really does make sense. If I'm going to be nicer, it'll have an effect on the people around me to be nicer because I'm showing an example. But it's really even deeper than what they're seeing in you. It's even deeper than them seeing you be nice. It has this incredible deep power to help them become even nicer. So for instance, if you see someone so angry, okay, so you might not be as angry as them, but you might have a little anger too. Maybe you don't shout, maybe you don't even seem angry, but maybe deep inside you have angry feelings. And even though you're not expressing it, it's still something you can work on too. So when you work on yourself so that you'll be less angry even in your thoughts, then it has the power to help everyone. This teaching comes from the Tzemach Tzedek, and it's from a book he wrote, Derech Mitzvosecha, on Ahavas Yisrael, that when you improve in one way, it helps everyone else improve because we're all one. God created all of our souls to be so connected that we influence each other by what we do. You know, there was a story recently I read in the Chafetz Chaim book about, you know, sometimes someone will do something not nice to you and you like really feel like, you know, making a big deal out of it and like kind of maybe even in public, say it in the classroom or at home. And it was a story of a father who actually was coming in to pick up his son. And he's noticing from a distance that his son was acting not so nice, whatever, he did something wrong. And then this other person, so-called his friend, started yelling, how could you do such a thing? And shaming his classmate in front of everyone. And the father was just like beside himself. Oh my gosh, it hurt him so much to see that his son was being shamed. So he walked toward the boy who was shaming his son and took him aside. And then he said, you know, I wish you could have put, you know, your anger aside. And I wish you could have taken my son to the side, like I'm taking you to the side, and tell him what bothered you about it, instead of shaming him. So Hashem in Shamayim, like, is our Father. And when he sees us being so upset and shaming someone that, let's say, upset us, it's like it hurts him so much. It's like, oh, you know, it just makes Hashem so sad. And it makes Hashem say, why? Please don't do that. That's just not nice. So the example given is, you know, when you're shaming somebody else, it's like you're really, in a way, shaming yourself. And you're really like causing like everyone to have that power to shame. Remember, we were saying it in a positive way, but also in the negative way. So we have to be like careful. Now, yes, we're children. And yes, our brain isn't fully developed. And yes, we're going to fall prey to like different types of behaviors. And Hashem is not judging us. He's not looking down at us. He understands we're not adults yet. And even adults also are not there yet. Like we all have yet to get better and stronger in our mindsets to have that kind of control over our Yetzer Hara. We're not a tzaddik. Even adults are not tzaddikim. And they also sometimes behave in ways that are not becoming. But we have to be aware. And this is what this brain training class is about. To be aware and how to like improve. So many times as a counselor, someone says to me, my child doesn't want to get help, or my husband doesn't want to get help. He's not, you know, like ready to try to improve. So I say to them, you improve in that same particular issue that they need improvement in, and you'll see it has an effect. And they call me and they tell me, I can't believe it. If you look at my client testimonials, I wrote many adult books, and they're saying how they changed themselves and how it helped change their husband, or it helped their children transform because they did the work, because we're all one. So in a positive way, it helps. And also, God forbid, it could in a negative way influence other people to be stronger and stronger in that negative trait that they have. So an example in the book that it gave was that of a boat. And someone's drilling a hole in the boat. And we probably have heard this example before, but it's good to review. So let's say you're drilling a hole in the boat, and someone says to you, what are you doing? Why are you drilling a hole in the boat? Like this, that's dangerous. The boat is going to go down. Mind your own business. I'm doing it under my seat. The person will say, no, your hole in your boat affects everyone. So when we, let's say, get so upset at someone, and then we feel like we have to shame them in public and put them in a bad spotlight of what bad and they did, it's like, in effect, it's affecting everyone. Because you think you're just maybe taking, your stand and say, well, they shame me and I'll shame them. But like another mashal gives, if God forbid your hand cut one hand, you wouldn't cut the other hand. Like, oh, how dare you cut me. The cut was maybe by accident, right? And so you wouldn't cut the other hand because it hurts. It's the one body. So we're all one soul. We all have to see our life like this so that we can realize that we're protecting other people, even though it seems like we're just protecting them by not shaming them or not acting badly back to them, but we're really protecting ourselves. Not only are we protecting ourselves, we're protecting the whole world. Now, as you children may know, like what we're doing to try to protect one another from a disease, right? And we can't even see the disease, right? So the same thing, we can't really see how this is changing them for the better or helping them improve. We can't see how by our own eyes, although it makes sense, if you start making fun of someone about their bad behavior, then it just hurts them so bad, they might give up trying to be better. So we can kind of make sense out of it. But it's even deeper than what we're seeing with our own eyes. So today, we're going to try to raise our standard of making sure we don't do unto others like we don't like them doing to us. That's the whole, like, Torah on one foot. Remember when they were asked by Rabbi Akiva or even Hillel, he said, don't do to others as you would like to be done to you. So whatever we don't like that they're doing to us, then let's not continue that, energy and continue it. Yes, I know it's not easy because sometimes we're so hurt and it just it comes out. But that's where brain training comes. I don't want to just because I'm hurt, say whatever I want to say. And by starting to do this now, you'll have better relationships with your brother and sisters and your parents forevermore. By starting to now, you will have a better relationship with your husband and wife one day, or with your employees, or if you're the boss, or, in your work where you're going to work one day. It's going to help you with your own children. So, this is incredible time that we have now when we're younger to get in the habit of understanding these kinds of concepts and making it a goal by paying attention to it so that we can be nicer and we can help each other become nicer and we could be a support to even the people who seem to be not so nice by being the example of not throwing, let's say, gasoline on a burning fire. I always tell people, if there's a gasoline leak and there's a huge fire from it, God forbid, you would not put more gasoline because then it just it'll just explode and the fire will get so much greater. So, are you ready? Ready to take that challenge and to raise the bar, as they say, to get to a new level of being aware that you just don't want to create more negativity. You want to be the leader. You want to be the example. You want to help put out the fire by understanding. And part of that is fix yourself. If they're not taking your example when you're trying your best to be nice to them and they're not nice to you. Because sometimes when a person's really upset, no matter what you do, it's just not going to help them because they're very upset. But at least don't put fuel into and don't make the situation worse by, giving into your own Yetzer Hara and talking back to them in a way that's, very much going to get them even more upset. And then, even if, let's say, you're it's a day later or that night, say a prayer for them. Think about them and wanting them to, learn from your ways or to fix, the issue that is in them by trying to fix it in you. And again, it could be they have it way worse than you, that kind of character trait. But, we all have something that we can connect to when we see other people losing their cool. We all can look into our own pockets and see, like, where are we not so perfect? And, like, but, like, so it'll help us not get as upset when they are not so perfect. So today, since this reunion took place, I really just want to say there was so many beautiful moments in our class at Yavne Hebrew Academy. 40 years later, us all connecting and just experiencing the joy of getting along, experiencing the joy of being nice to one another in school, experiencing the joy that we don't have these bad memories of who did what, or because it was really an amazing class that we had. And I want to inspire you all to, while you're in this stage in your life, to do extra efforts to be more forgiving, to take extra efforts to cultivate more and more sweet interactions and being helpful. Sometimes kids, they don't know how to learn as easily some topic, and instead of so many times people can make fun of someone that's not getting it, and instead maybe after the class say, maybe if you want some help on this, I need help on this, maybe you can help me on this and I'll help you on that, and help each other rather than looking down or making fun, which is also typical many times in the classroom or in the recess or even in your own home. If you're an older sister and you see your younger sister struggling with studying something, and you see mommy is really busy, or mommy doesn't know that, and because you recently studied it because you're 2 years older, and so you didn't forget it. So make an effort and be nice and help. And even though sometimes they are not nice to you because they're younger and they tend to not have had the behavioral practices that you've had because you're 2 years older or whatever. So let's make a commitment to practice today how we are going to fix ourselves, knowing that that's going to help fix the person that you may have had challenges with and help the whole world. Yes, the whole world. It's incredible. I mean, even some of the studies that I've learned on thoughts that have a power in things way far away. There was a counselor that nobody could help these people. Nobody. He was a Japanese counselor, I think a psychiatrist or psychologist who helped people, brain train. And he just would look at their pictures and think very loving thoughts. And he would look at their pictures and he would think about how much love he has and about them. And he would spend time, really deeply thinking about them in a good way. And then they were getting better. It's incredible. And many times, I attest to a lot of the success that I've had with my clients is that every day I spend time thinking about them and thinking about what's challenging for them, and I'm seeing them in a vision of being, the person they want to be. And then I focus on what I can fix for them that is maybe connected to a weakness that I have, that if I improve, that's going to give them power to improve. And it really does help. I can tell you just even 2 stories. There was without going into too much details, but where one of the parents called me and I said, what have you been doing? Because now she's she was a lot of sadness and she didn't want to even take a shower. She didn't, feel like eating. She was just really sad because something happened to her. And I would visualize her going to take care of herself and I would visualize her eating, and I would visualize all the things that her mom said was hard for her to do. And I barely even spoke to this girl. And by me, and then I would, focus on myself, like where sometimes I get so busy and I don't feed myself. So I have to take care of myself and I would improve myself on these things. And then all of a sudden, not even a week later, sometimes or two, they would call me, and everything I visualized was those things that, because there were many things, but I just focused on one or two things. And the one or two things that I focused on was the things that girl improved that week. Or sometimes I had a wife call me, and years and years and years she was dealing with this for one of her children or even a husband. And I'm telling you, and they were like, wow, what's going on here? And it's the power of our thoughts. It's the power of fixing in ourselves. And this is a deep teaching of the Torah that gives us this ability to help other people. And yes, you're young. But why not start now? Why not stop putting, let's say, the gasoline on the burning fire and instead brain train and switch? What can I do to help them? Whether it's being the example and stopping ourselves from aggravating them even more, or spending the time helping them instead of making fun, or spend the time thinking positively about them, or fix it in yourself and make a commitment that through me fixing it in me, it's going to open the pave way for them to fix themselves. And in the end, Hashem is so happy. Hashem teaches us, He wants to give us so many blessings. So many blessings. And when there's peace, and when we have love of each other, when we don't do unto others like we don't want them to do to us, it just creates such a joyful God. And He's so happy, and He's so much gives and gives even more brachas. Because you started to make an effort, He helps you. You started to say, I don't want to put gasoline on a burning fire. I want to put out the fire. And Hashem says, you made an effort to be a firefighter? I'm going to now put out the fire for you. I've seen it again and again. And I bless you all that you start getting in the habit of this now. So that by the time you're 20, oh my gosh, I have to say, my children have been learning this they were in my stomach. I used to teach them while in my stomach, read them stories and I'm so proud of them actually. Both of them. I said my son got married recently, and he's as if he's 50 years old. What took me till 50 to get to, and everyone who meets both my daughter and my son, because they started young. And when we start young, then we have so much superpowers when we're older and starting life in all kinds of different relationships, whether again at work or getting married. So I pray for all of you. And thank goodness you mothers out there are spending the time to get your children to start young. Because, yes, the school is teaching amazing things. But the extracurricular stuff like here is going to help just as much and add to their spice to sweeten them up and get their neshama to shine. So right now, we are going to go to the second part of our program, and that is our art and brain training through art. So you can get your pencils and colors and paper ready and even jot down some of the ideas. And then later, when you have a time to really develop your picture or the idea that you might want to, color about. And we're going to maybe see a boat. That's what came to my mind. There's a hole in the boat, and we're gonna make sure that we're not gonna let the boat go down, and we're gonna plug it up, and we're gonna plaster it, maybe a picture like that, because we don't want to create more of an issue by reacting in a negative way when people react negatively. So we're going to stop the ship from sinking. Or maybe you can see, a heart with many pieces, and all the pieces, like your mother, your brother, your sister, your friends, and it's like one big heart, like a puzzle, because all of us are one. And when our heart is full of love, then we help each other grow. So imagine a picture of like this beaming heart pulsating with just oneness and with love and acceptance and forgiveness. And maybe another picture could be like all these different positive things of your heart. So to remind you, even when someone behaves not nicely, still tap into your heart powers of forgiveness, compassion, empathy, love, kindness, example, leadership, lamplighter, like whatever words that are just going to like lighten you up to like remember when they are not nice to you, that you're not going to let them, take that heart of yours and melt it away. Your heart is going to get stronger and more forgiving and more compassionate. These are some ideas that are coming to me. And again, if you have any ideas, I always love to hear your ideas. You can post it here. And the other idea I had was, when we think about empowering the other, you could see a picture of yourself compassionately trying to help them. And, and you can see them like, their picture just transforming. Like they're right now so nice because you were nice, even though they weren't. So many ideas, right? And we could choose one of them to do a brain training visualization, and that's what we're going to do next. But I don't see any ideas. If anyone has any ideas of after learning this, we could do like the gasoline on a burning fire and like X, like a thing of a gasoline and then a fire. That's another idea. Or that you have a pail of water instead. Your love and your kindness is going to like make their fire go down. Yay. So I was just talking about the reunion, David. It inspired me to tell these students of ours here from all around the world how great our class was, and how it was so nice to have a reunion after 40 years, and how everyone is still so nice and so friendly, and how many special neshamas of ours in our class. So that's what we're trying to do. So in this guided imagery, you may want to pick a situation where someone does tend to bother you, and sometimes you end up being bothered by them and maybe making the situation a bit worse because of your reaction. And so first, that could be a main theme right now, right? That we were just learning together. So you can close your eyes if you want. And Baruch Hashem, adults have been reaching out to me saying they can't listen to other heavy-duty classes, but that this type of techniques have been helping them. So I'm hoping it helps you adults out there as well, like it did me, even though I got it at close to 40. All right, so in some ways. So we'll just take a deep breath, and with every breath we take, we just feel a wave of relaxation. And remember, it's really important to get your body relaxed because our brain is so stressed out. Go here, do this, listen to this. Parents telling us maybe what to do. School teachers, teaching us. It's just like the brain needs to relax. And the only way the brain really can relax is when the body is relaxed. So some really deep breaths, and maybe picturing yourself in an amazing, beautiful place. Maybe the beach, or maybe wherever you just enjoy being, maybe at the kotel, like whatever, and seeing yourself in a relaxed state in this beautiful place. Maybe walking along, enjoying the scenery, almost smelling the beauty of the place. All the colors so vibrant, as if you're really there. And just relax there. Just be with yourself and Think of all the blessings you have in your life and just tap into like so many happy feelings. And then maybe at a distance, slowly, this person starts coming your way. And at first, what used to make you jolt and get all anxious because they're coming your way, in this vision, you're calm. You're really capable of being a leader in this situation. You're really seeing yourself like a very calm and relaxed and loving, giving person. Like the best of you here is free to be in this vision. And even though they're like saying things that can be disturbing and not so nice, right now in this vision, you're listening empathetically. You're showing a face of concern that they're bothered or that they're hurt and that they're, having a Yetzirah moment maybe. But now, like your face is very loving toward them. You feel bad for them. And you don't talk back like maybe you used to, or you don't react like you used to in this vision. In this vision, you're like a doctor of their soul. You're really like connecting to them and really wanting to support them. And you're not reacting. And you see that you begin to feel for them. You see that they're feeling your energy, that you care. And all of a sudden you see them relaxing too. You see their guards down. You see their true neshama coming to life. You see that you're having an impact because your positive thoughts of best regards for them to be better and better. And all of a sudden they're not acting the way they were. They're actually acting and speaking and behaving very nicely. And then they start to share why they've been so horrible. Maybe they're starting to say, I'm sorry to you. And then all of a sudden, you feel so beyond good that you had a positive impact on them. And you barely even said a word. It was your feelings in your heart that you conveyed through your eyes, through your face. It was you being quiet and not reacting explosively or annoyingly. It was you that was listening with a caring heart, not just your ears. Your heart was listening to their pain. And all of a sudden, like you can't believe how things are changing. In this vision, you feel so blessed that you didn't put gasoline on a burning fire. You feel so blessed that you trained your mind to not react, to not take it personally, to be the leader in this situation and to save the day. So as you begin to see this vision come to fruition, you could say a little prayer. Hashem, please help me. Help my brain really remember this. I might not be able to solve everyone's problems, but at least let me not exacerbate, make worse the situation. Please help me that this vision will keep reminding me how to influence others by my caring and listening heart. And then, as you begin to walk away, feeling that God's with you and answering your prayers, giving you the strength and a powerful mind to accomplish this brain training technique. Feel your feet giving you the strength to walk forward in your life, to make better of all of your relationships, even some of the most difficult ones. Now during Corona, everyone's calling each other up, reconnecting, saying sorry, trying our best to really develop closeness, because all of us have been so busy sometimes living our lives. So feel your feet. That's going to give you the strength to walk forward in bringing more peace and harmony and love. Feel your hands, the hands that can't wait to hug your grandma or to hug your friends that you haven't seen in a while, to be more giving. Feel your heart beating with a lot of hope now that you can empower others to follow your lead through your thoughts, through your beautiful words of wisdom, or by being quiet and listening. And then as you open your eyes, just feel so hopeful and so thankful that you're starting now and not till you were age 40. That you're getting this now at such a tender young age. And if you're not, and if you're some of the adults here, that you're getting it now. And we're gonna keep getting to new heights. Good is good and better is better. And there's even better than better. And there's no end to how much we can improve and be more loving and more, giving and more compassionate. So I'm glad you joined in today. And I bless you all that you should just continue to shine your neshama to everyone around you. And may they continue to learn from you and your beautiful ways. Bye-bye.